And I'm live. Today is 12th of November 2025, Wednesday, and Raylib. Yes, let's go. Today we are going to get into Raylib. We have been trying to do some things in Raylib, and let's now better the understanding of how what things are happening in Raylib and what we can do in Raylib. And yeah, Raylib does not have any documentation, so we will have to go to the examples section. And yeah, we can learn about core Raylib concepts, shapes, textures, text models, shaders, audio, right? And right now, I've gone through this key arrows, mouse movement, how to make a thing move through the mouse, and this how to take input keys. That is done, like I know how to do this, so that is cool. Use mouse wheel to move the cube up and down. Let's do that. Yeah, let's do that, and we will not just copy paste stuff. Let's Yeah, we are treating these things as like little assignments with which to play with, so that we know how to do the little things, and then we can make big things. And I think I like really want to do what I really want to do is make Doom in Raylib, and that would be damn good. I am from upstate, shit, UP. That is nice. And yo, how are you doing? Cruise 3509. Shit, 35 is a nice number. I guess 3 into 7, 5 into 7, my bad. And go to stuff and Raylib, and I'll make a new folder for this, or a new directory. And yeah, there are some updates, which always are. Okay, mouse wheel. And yes, whenever doing anything in Raylib, we have to have the cheat sheet on. Cheat sheet right here. And I guess wheel. Yeah, get mouse wheel, move, get mouse wheel. This takes mouse wheel. Uh, This will give us a float, get mouse wheel movement for X or Y, whichever is larger. Okay, since there can be two types of scrolling, like in the, like, there is a famous Logitech mouse which has lateral scrolling on the side. I think this is the one. Yeah, this one has scrolling right. No, this one does not have the scrolling. Side scroll. Uh-huh. Yeah, this one has side scrolling, so there are two coordinates in scrolling itself. So yeah, that is crazy. But we can make our thing work with get mouse wheel move. So that would be cool. I'm good. Told, not gonna lie, you give someone from South vibes 60. Shit. Yeah, yeah. Shit, I won't try to mimic the accent. But yeah, okay. Mm, now, shit. Yeah, mouse wheel, TVP, and yeah, Raylib.h, and main, and screen height, like, yeah, like literally the height of the screen. Let's say 800, and in screen width also 800, and then we will start the window with the width, screen width, and the height would be screen height. Go, and title would be mouse scroll, and while not, window should close. um yeah, let's also have a what, rectangle. We need a rectangle. We will call the rectangle cube. That is nice. And I want to see what are the things a rectangle has. It has width, height, and x and y position. So yeah, okay. Let's say x and y position we will update later on, but let's give width and height. So it rectangle sides, let's say, I don't know, 30, and color, rectangle color would be red, or do we have purple? Yes, the royal color. Purple, okay, and rectangle side, rectangle. Okay, this has to be a float, right? And here, begin drawing. Draw a rectangle rounded. Let's draw a rounded rectangle. This first will take in the rectangle, which is cube, roundedness. Rounded is 0.3, I guess. And segment, what is segment? Let's see if we go here, segment, and this is just the function definition. Where is the actual function? Okay, shit, we do not have function. What is segment? Okay, how can we see what is segment? Uh, Draw rectangle segments. Okay, color makes sense. Roundedness also makes sense. Rectangle, the size and location of the rectangle. What is segment? Okay, draw a rectangle with rounded edge. Uh, Draw a piece of circle. S- Okay, let's use some random value for segment and see what thing changes. Rectangle color and drawing. Okay, and yeah, at the end, uh, close window, and also if is key pressed key Q. If we press Q, then break out of the loop. Let's see how this goes. And we do have a purple rectangle on top left. That is nice. Now we need to sync its movement with the cursor, with the scroll wheel. Okay, press Q, we can exit. Let's make this first coordinate is the width. Let's keep it half, screen width divided by 2. So we are on the half 2.0. Non-constant expression cannot be narrowed from double to float. Float. Now we are on the left, but we have to subtract from this rectangle side divided by 2. Divided by 2.0. So our rectangle should be in the middle right here. And now we will sync the vertical movement with the scroll wheel, right? And for that we have to use get mouse wheel move. Float vertical movement is this much. So I guess we can just do cube dot y plus equals vertical. And if cube.y, if this gets smaller, if in the y direction we go past the screen, if this becomes smaller, then minus rectangle sides divided by 2.0 then we will make the cube appear on the other side of the screen, and cube y would become equal to screen height plus rectangle size divided by 2.0 yeah, else if cube dot y becomes greater than screen height plus rectangle size divided by 2.0 we will make cube dot y equals negative, yeah, negative rectangle size divided by 2.0 and I guess now we are good. Okay, we are good, but not actually shit. Uh, Clear background with okay. Yo, let's go. It is moving with the mouse, so that's kind of nice. And this is moving like smoothly because of this thing. I have this extension, Mac mouse fixer, which makes mouse movement smooth, and now this is not smooth anymore. So yeah, shit, yes, this is not smooth anymore. But smooth was nice. Smooth was nice. Let's make this smooth. Cool. And this also comes out the other side. That is also nice. And this only comes. Okay, shit. I messed up. I messed up. This should come out on the other side when the cube has gone there completely. And that would be, yeah, because the position here is the top left of the cube. And yeah, so this makes sense. When the top left goes negative the whole side of the cube, that means we have gone completely at the top of the screen, and yeah, so this is cool. And when we come from the other side, just plus, just add these two, and here also just add these two, and this can become negative directly. And what do we have? Yo, yes, look at this. When it goes down completely, only then it will come out the other side. It is gone, it has gone, and now shit, it comes out now. That is kind of nice. Yeah, and yes, that is the whole thing. That was the whole example that we just saw. So wait, okay, shit, thought the screen was stuck and no one was able to see anything. That would have been crazy. Okay, and so this thing is done, and we don't actually have a input gamepad, so we cannot do this. Input multi-touch. Our screen is not touchable, so we cannot do this, but input gestures. What is this? Example licensed. What does this? Okay, drag. Okay, so this is detected gestures and tap, tap and hold. It is detecting these things. Swipe down. Okay, shit. This knows what swipe down means. And swipe up. Okay, that is nice. And then tap, hold, drag. Okay, that is cool. And anything related to the keys? Nope, nothing. Gesture area. Okay, that is good. That is actually good. Tap and hold. Okay, so we have to look for tap. Tap and hold is always there. Yep, tap and hold is always there. And no matter which key I'm pressing from the mouse, left or right, click both of them. Say tap and hold. Okay, and this is swipe up, swipe right, swipe left, swipe down, and if I tap, hold, and drag. So this registers drag. Okay, tap and hold are always there, but we are deciding between whether the movement of the mouse, if there is a movement, if it is drag or swipe. Okay, so how for us to be able to decide whether the mouse is being dragged or it is being used to swipe somewhere, we have to see the duration for which the mouse is being clicked and moved, for which we need to know how long was the key pressed. Can we know that for how long the key was being pressed? And also we have this thing, this cool thing here. This just yeah. This is adding new text on the screen and shit. We are only seeing these gestures in this area, gesture area. That is nice. That is nice. Okay, how can we code this now? Hello, bro. Why do you claim yourself as autodidactic when you clearly took the help of resources made by others? I mean, autodidact doesn't mean you are creating everything from yourself. There isn't why any autodidact. Is it or is it true? Okay, it depends on your definition, how you're defining. If you, by autodidact you mean someone who just creates things on their own and like doesn't read or study about anything else, then if that is the restraint on the definition by you, then no one is a true autodidact. But for me, autodidact means not just if I'm taking a course from online or somewhere, then that does not mean I'm not an autodidact. That would mean I was the one who went out and looked for something that I wanted to learn, and I found the resources and I'm learning, right? So, yeah, that is my definition of an autodidact. Okay, shit, it also knows double tap. Okay, so this certainly is able to gesture tap, text, copy, restore, gesture, string. So how is it? Last gesture equals current gesture equals get. Shit, okay, there is a function for this. We don't have to, yeah, do a lot of maths. There is a function for this. Get gesture enable only some gestures that be detected. Okay, so shit, we do not have to write everything from scratch. There is a function for gestures. Touch position, vector 2, touch position. Okay, left. And we have a rectangle, which is the touch area. And the screen width and height is this much. Okay, right. So these two are the dimensions or the place where the circle should, the gesture area should begin from, and screen width. This is how much the width should be, and this is the screen width minus 230, which is like 220 because yeah, 450 is the whole width, and then screen height minus 20. So high, okay, shit, 800 is the width, and so yeah, this is more than 220, and this is 430. Okay, gesture count equals 0. and char gesture max gesture strings, which is here, which is 20. Okay, so we have 20 strings char and 32. We have a two-dimensional thing, and the maximum size of text which is defining a gesture is 32. Okay, right, and then current gesture equals none gesture none and gesture last gesture. Okay, that is cool that we have this as a function. Yo, these are things. Okay, and then while the window is not closed, last gesture equals current gesture equals get gesture detected, and touch position get touch position. 0 would mean something if check collision point rectangle, touch position and touch area. Share. Okay, that is nice. That is nice. That is nice. So we have a function check collision point rectangle. In this rectangle, or is this position inside this rectangle? So we do not have to do maths like checking the limits. So that is nice. And the current gesture is not equal to gesture none. So there is a gesture right now. If it is, then if current gesture is not equal to the last gesture, then store gesture string case current gesture. If the current gesture is a tap, then say tap gesture, double tap, hold, drag. Okay, sure. They give us quite a bit of gestures. That is nice. Swipe up, pinch in and pinch down. Shit, can we do pinch in and pinch? We don't have a mouse, but I guess, yeah, yeah. Yes, I cannot do pinch in and pinch down because, yes, of course, this is not a screen, touchable screen. Okay, these are all the gestures that we get. Gesture count. So where can we apply this? Okay, and then they begin drawing and draw the whole thing. This is how they are updating the state if gesture count greater than um this is string, and for int I make everything equal text copy gesture I 0, put empty, the gesture is string. Okay, text copy this to this location. Okay, and text copy into this thing. Okay, that is nice. That is nice. That is nice. Okay, let's do this gesture thing. Gesture.cp include Raylib.h int main, and yeah, screen height is 800. Let's say it's screen width is also 800 by 800, and then init window and screen height width screen height gesture thing, and we need like a rectangle on the side for the gestures, I guess, for not the gestures, for the gesture area, that, yeah, activity area. Rectangle equals, no, we need a rectangle, touch area will be equal to a rectangle high location from the x axis, the from in the x axis move, let's say 250 steps, and from the top move 20 down Yep, and the height and the width height would be 20 from top, 20 from bottom. That would be 750, or we can just say screen width minus, we have given 250 gap on the left, so that would be 250. And also let's say we want to give margin of 10 from both the sides, so minus 20. And yeah, screen height minus 20. Shit, this has to be a float. This also has to be a float. I guess when we are writing float, we can remove the decimal. No, we cannot remove the decimal. Right, and we need now gesture last current, and last equals current equals gesture none, and then while not window should close, while the window is not closing, we'll update the last equals current, and current equals get get gesture detected. Okay, this takes in input. What is the input? If this doesn't take in an input, what is the problem? Assigning to gesture from incompatible type int. Okay, shit. So these two things have to be integers. Shit, gesture is a integer. Okay, that is crazy. That is like actually crazy. That is crazy. And these are values shared. This integer to power, and this is in powers of 2, so that we can these are acting as flags so that we can uh, do OR between them, between two flags, and take the combined output of the two things. So that is nice. If gesture none, tap, double tap, that is power of 2 power nothing, or 0 power 0. If this is 0, none gesture, 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is nice. After getting the last, yes sir, and also yes, shit, we need a place to store the gestures. Yes, we do need a place to store the gestures, and for that they used a 2D matrix of characters. Let's also use the 2D matrix of characters. Char gesture record, and size would be, let's say, define max record would be 10. I don't know. Here max gesture record, and the maximum length of a singular gesture, let's say 36. Right, and if current is not equal to null gesture, right, if current is not equal to null gesture, gesture null, if current is not equal to gesture null, and also yes, speak gesture position vector 2 Gesture position initially is nothing. Gesture position equals gesture position is a variable. Ah, shit. Okay. Get gesture pinch vector hold drag duration pinch angle drag vector hold duration drag duration detected. This one pinch vector gives us vector 2, but a drag vector hold vector, which was the function that they used to get the location, get touch position, and with the input equal to 0, 0 must mean something. Get touch position. Touch position, and there is input which is get touch position xy from a touch point index relative to the screen size. And what is index? Why don't they tell what the input thing is supposed to be? Index. Okay. Now we have to see if this gesture that we have detected, if whether it is in the current screen or not. So the fun what was the function that we use? If check if a point is inside a rectangle, that is check collision point rectangle. Yeah. Check collision point rectangle where the first argument is the point and the second argument is the rectangle. So check where the first argument is the point which is gesture position and the second is the rectangle which is touch area. So if the thing that we have done is inside our touch area and it is not null, then we will do something. And what is that? Switch depending on current gesture. If case is gesture double tap. Okay, and we will also need a index in this int gesture index equals 0. If this thing happens, then if this thing happens, then text copy destination is gesture record gesture index plus plus, and the thing that we have to copy is this double tapped, and then break. And in case of case, gesture double tap pinch out. Yeah, we will write all of these cases. Or what we can do is copy this whole thing. So we can actually do this. Take this, copy this, go back and paste this here, right shift, uh, and okay, now what you have to do is, okay, we will record a macro. So because you want to add the word case in front of all of these things, okay, or we can just do this, copy and say case, and yeah, so there is case in front of all of these, and we'll start recording a macro q a macro in a which says go to the last line. Shit, that, oh shit. Okay, shit macro pressure. I messed it up. Okay, when we are on a line, We have to go to the far end and say there is a like unknown amount of spaces, so we don't actually know how much far we have to go, so we have to do this manually. Yeah, if this is the gesture, then what we have to do is, okay, why is nothing happening? Text copy should, because we are recording a macro. Yes, text copy and gesture record, gesture index plus 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 plus, and yes, copy this text, which is okay, none. We are not handling none. Text copy, gesture record, and gesture index plus plus, and the text is tap tap. Yeah, it's a tap. That is nice. And yeah, after that, break and copy this, go to the back, paste. Not shit. Don't just copy this. Copy, paste, paste, paste. Yeah, we just have to change the text. Instead of tab, this should be double tap. So we'll say tap tap, and here instead of hold and hold, we'll say, yeah, we'll just say hold, and here we'll just say drag, and here this is swipe right, and this is swipe up, and shit, I messed up. This is swipe up, and this one is swipe left, which makes more sense, and this one is swipe down, and this one is pinch in, and this one is pinch out. Okay, after this statement, if the index becomes higher, yep, if the index becomes greater than max gesture record, not higher, no, no. If this becomes equal to the maximum thing, if this becomes equal to the maximum thing, then we will have to make all of these equal to 0. We have to clean the gestures, but that would not be really good. Yes, we will do this here. Yeah, for and I equals 0, I is smaller than, okay, gesture index. What we'll do is text copy, the destination is gesture record, I, yes, copy at that location, null. Yeah, I plus one. That is null right there. Okay, that is cool. That is cool. And yes, after making this equal to null, we will say gesture index equals 0. Right, and then we will begin drawing. And at the end, we will end drawing. And here we will have to draw the whole screen. Hello, I++. Hi. Today we are not making anything specifically. We are going through the examples in Raylib, and there is one example. Like, look at this. This is a cool. Like, that is cool. Shit. Yeah, that is cool. Like, what is this? I can move this square left to right. R, AR, and left, right mouse to move the offset. Yeah. So yeah, we are exploring how things happen or what are the things we can do in Raylib. And look at this. Maybe we will even get to this thing. Player 1, WS to move, W to move forward, S, and player 2 can go up and down. That is Minecraft. That is literally Minecraft, even though we are just moving in one dimension. Shit. Look at this. The other player is there, visible. Shit. That is cool. That is cool. That is cool. I guess the other player will be able to see this there. Yes. Yes, there we go. There we go. There is the red box. Yeah. We can do that in just this much of code. So that is cool. That is Raylib. We are exploring Raylib here. Hello. Share Unity. Let's go. Unity. And the creator of Raylib also teaches Unity in some university, so that is also funny. Raysan is his name. Okay, here. And yes, the basic principle in Raylib, I don't know how things happen in Unity, but in Raylib, the basic principle is you keep a while loop running, but I guess that is how things happen everywhere. You keep a while loop running, and the program goes through the while loop once for every frame. So yeah, once for every frame, and at the top of the loop, you update all of your variables, and then between in this section, begin drawing and end drawing, you specify what are the things going to be on this particular frame, depending on the variables which you have updated before. So yeah, that is nice. Let's see, we want to make this like this. That is nice. We want to make this, so we need a text here. We have a rectangle here. Can we make rectangle with a border, or do we have to make two rectangles? And shade the shade of this rectangle is different. Uh, Draw rectangle lines. What is draw rectangle lines? Draw rectangle lines within an image. Draw rectangle within an image. Okay. Draw rectangle, yes. Lines, what are rectangle lines? Outline. Draw rectangle outline. This can take EX, line thickness, rectangle, where the rectangle is, what the rectangle is, the thickness, and then the color. Okay, so we'll call this function for making the outline, and we'll call this function for making the rectangle. Or we will call, yeah, we will make lines on rounded rectangle. That is much better. I guess they also have, no, they do not have rounded, so ours will be better than theirs. Yeah, cool. Draw rectangle. Yeah, we need one rectangle on the left, one on the right. Let's go. So for the left one, what should be the coordinates of the left one? Let's write a rectangle. Rectangle. Left text. equals the x. Yeah, and also let's say we are giving a margin of 10 pixels. So here we will say 2 into margin instead of margin. Yeah, plus 2.0. Cool. And shit. Okay. And this thing also has to change. We'll make it 2 into margin, but 2 has to be upload. And left text. Okay, what is the problem with this? What is this? Yeah, margin amount from the left. Margin amount from the left. And set margin. Let me margin float. Okay, margin amount from the left. And from the top also margin amount and margin from the top, margin from the left. And yes, and we need to, yeah, just margin. Okay, what would be the width of this thing? We have 250 amount of space from the left. Okay. Okay, shit, I guess we messed up here a little bit. 250 amount, and this is want to be 2 into margin. This is just margin minus 250 minus the margin from the right. Right, right, right. And here margin position from the left, and how much can we go? We have 250. We will take out 3 margin points. So 250 minus 3 into margin. Right. That is the width, and the height would be screen height minus 2.2 into margin. That is our left text area. Makes sense. Okay, we have our left text area, at least the rectangle, which will act as the left text area. Let's draw a rectangle, rounded. Yeah, left text, cool, roundedness. Okay, let's use roundedness, same roundedness for all. Float round equals 0.5, I guess, is not too bad. Round segments, yeah, segments. I don't know what segments is. I guess segments is how many segments we are using for the roundedness. In here, we also used segments. And this r square here is divided. Let's increase the size of the square. I think the segment is taking how many segments are we going to break the rounded edge or the rounded corner into. Let's see. Rectangle sides, let's say 70. Right, that. Okay, yeah, let's say 150. Cool, that is better. And round, let's increase the roundedness to 7. And okay, that is rounded. And if we decrease the segments, yeah, it is segmented. This is segmented now. This is segmented. And if we increase the roundedness even more, I guess you will see even more pixelation. That is kind of pixelated. Can we decrease the round segments point? Yeah, sure. Yeah. This has to be an integer, so if we increase the segments, yeah, this is better in terms of like pixels, how much clarity we are getting. And if we say 100 segments, yeah, this is even better. So segment is how much detailing are we giving? Yeah, it is. It might not be visible on the stream, but yeah, there is like we can. If you focus clearly, then there is some lining, and if we increase the segmentation, then good. Or what we can do is copy this, create another circle side by side, cube dot y plus equals, let's say 200, I don't know, 400. Ah, it makes sense. Makes sense. It is always increasing by two. Yeah. Cube dot y, originally it was equal to 0. And this is smooth, the above one, and the lower one is kind of pixelated. Yeah. So yeah, segment means how much detailing we are giving to something that we are at. Shit, hello. Bro, need some help. Did you ever accidentally code a game? What? Yes. I don't know what accidentally coding a game means. Shit. Just trying to do something and ended up making a game. No. Like it is hard to make a game intentionally also. Okay. Draw a rectangle left. We have given the roundedness and last parameter. Shit, what was the last parameter in this? Draw a rectangle rounded. Color. We will take the royal color. Shit, no. White. White because we want text to appear on top of this. Right. Uh, Draw rectangle rounded X line. Yeah, cool. Left text. This is the rectangle. The roundedness is the same segment is also 10, thickness 5, and purple looks nice. Purple as in, let's see how this looks. We should see purple. Yes, we do see purple on the left. That is nice. But this like very close to the screen. Roundedness is a bit too much. Yeah, roundedness is a bit too much. Let's say 2, and we can decrease the, yeah, this, and also clear background. White, and that is good. We can make the thing in the center, instead of white, we can make it like a little light purple or something. Let's make this black and this gray, light gray. Let's use light gray. And this, instead of black, this will be like dark gray, and we do have dark gray and gray. That is nice. And on the right, we will have the other dialog box, and instead of left, this should be touch area, roundedness same, light gray, no, internal, keep this white. Let's make the whole background light gray, and we'll say the borders are gray for this thing, and dark gray. Internally, we have gray color. Dark gray makes sense, or we can even keep this white. That also checks out, I think. And here we can make the border gray. That is good. And we can do the same logic of the touch area rectangle. Here we have touch area and all. Here also touch area white and gray. Let's see how it goes. And yes, we do have to decrease this roundedness, which is like a bit too much. But why didn't it decrease on its own? I mean, we are using the same roundedness for both of these. Round 2.0. I guess because the area of this one is quite a bit high, that is why we are getting more roundedness here. Um, let's say manually 0.2. Yes, yeah, makes sense. To make this one. And yes, now the things are same. Okay, we need a text in the bottom right, this thing, like this, and detected gestures on top here. Okay, shit. If we are going to do that, we have to increase the margin. We need more margin. How's that? That is nice. We can increase the margin from the top. Top margin 40 pixels. So when we are concerned with height, we will use top margin in both height minus top margin, and that is not very nice because here also when we are saying how much we have to do move here in the y direction on the top, then yeah, top margin. Cool, we have space. Let's have a bit more space and we can reduce the normal margin back. Cool. And let's say draw text. We have to give location and stuff about the text. Background change. Oh yes, make game. Yes, we will make game, some game, and hopefully, maybe at some point we will make Doom, and that would be cool. Making Doom would actually be cool. Like actually, we can run Doom on the microwave. That would be cool. It is a whole series. Shit. John Carmack, developers, designers. Should be. Where is John Carmack? Uh-huh. Yeah, by John Carmack and John Romero, and these two were fighting amongst each other, John Romero and John Carmack. Yeah, shit, Adrian Carmack. There are two CarMax. Shit. Okay. We need text at the top and on the bottom. Okay. What are the things that text takes? The text, XY position, font size, and color. Okay. Gestures here. X position. Okay. There should be a, I guess, good way for deciding for making this thing come in the middle, right? Yeah. Okay, we'll look up like what is the code that they have written for rendering stuff later. Let's write our own implementation first. Right? Yeah. Detected gesture. Yeah. Let's say in the X direction, move 20. In the Y direction, move 10 from the top and font size 2. And this would be gray since the background is dark gray. And then raw text. Yeah, for the like this thing, gesture area. And the X coordinate here has to be much higher. I guess 600 would be fine. And Y coordinate 700, text size 5, and right text in gray. Let's see. Okay, that is yeah, sure. Okay, text sizes have to increase first of all. That is one thing. And we do not have hot module reloading, so we have to literally rewrite stuff. Stop and recompile and rerun. Okay, that is big enough. That is all. This is big enough. This is big enough. We just have to fix this position for this text, and for this one we have to also fix the position. The size is good enough for both. So this one will go, let's say, 25, and in the Y direction go to below, and here in the X direction go to the left, and in the Y direction maybe go a little bit below. Okay, okay. Bring this back and make this move a little bit more towards right. Shade some more, some more. Okay, perfect, perfect. That is good. That is cool. We can make this move a little bit to the bottom. I guess fine. 20 pixels. No, 20 pixels is quite a bit. 10 is pixel engineering. Yeah, that is good. We can make this move left, like by 5 or 10 pixels. 495. Yeah, that is good. That is good. Okay, and now for the actual stuff like this. Okay, we will need vector 2 for ball. If ball, the position of the ball would initially be empty, does not matter where it is. And here, shade, just a position, ball also becomes equal to that thing. And here, after this, we will say draw, not ball, circle. It is called circle in the mathematical world. Shit. draw circle, V, first ball, the coordinate, radius, uh, I guess 10 is a bit too small, uh, end, ball, radius, let's say 30 initially, and color is red, or we will have our own color and we will say blue. And we should have a ball now. Yes, we do have a ball, but that is not very good. And also we will hide cursor, and we will say only make the ball appear if is key pressed, mouse button left, or is key pressed, mouse button left and mouse button right. If they are pressed, only then draw the circle. Right, so okay, shit. Okay, I guess I get the problem. We have to change, substitute pressed with down globally. And now, shit. Okay, this is still not working. Correct. Is mouse button left, down, mouse button right, down. Only then draw the circle. Is key down. So draw circle if mouse key down. Let's say if one of them is enter, and if I press enter, then yes, I do see the mouse. But why are the clicks not registering? By pressing enter, I do see the mouse. That is nice. Mouse button left is key down. Shit, this is not registering mouse buttons. This is registering mouse buttons. So, what is the function that they are using as okay, they are using like very small section for drawing everything on the screen. That is crazy. And how are they checking for the mouse position? They get the position from here and draw text count. Okay, that is something else. Draw a line, draw circle if current gesture is not equal to gesture none. If there is a gesture, then I guess mouse is not being handled here because it is being captured by the gesture thing. So right, and here we'll check if current is not equal to gesture. If current is not equal to gesture none, then we will draw the mouse, and we will also hide cursor. But if not, then we will do show cursor. Yeah, show cursor is the function. So when I'm not clicking, yo, let's go. Whenever I click, cursor hides away and the ball is there. So that is nice. That is nice. And one thing I also want to add is if someone ever presses Q is if is he press key Q, then just break and quit the game. Press Q. Press Q and game is quit. So that is nice. Let's see. And at the end of the website, oh shit. Okay, that is some planning going on. And yes, now the only thing left is this part, rendering these things. Okay, draw for int I equals 0, I less than gesture index I plus plus I smaller than here, gesture index. Let's see. Yeah, draw text. We will say int y, uh, the first text. Where should it appear? Um, vector 2 text location, yeah, text location from the x-axis, move towards the right margin amount of times, right, and yes, margin amount of times, that is the x, and the y should also be top margin. Okay, text is crazy in I guess Raylib, because like how much is this considered, right? We are moving more in the x direction than simply the margin. So yeah, you will have to change that margin, let's say plus 30. Here for int I, first we will draw a rectangle. Yeah, normal rectangle vector, normal rectangle, nothing special. Draw rectangle, position x position would be x, look at dot x minus 30, and y is x, look at dot y, and width is the same as the width for this rectangle, which is, yeah, screen width minus 250 minus margin, which we are putting there manually, which doesn't seem good. And height, yeah, height can be custom, let's say 30, I guess. And color, depending on I is even or odd. If I is odd, then say gray or light gray. There is a, yeah, we'll keep alternating. And then text. What is the text? Text is going to be gesture record in I. That is the text. And The X position is text, look at dot X, and Y position is text, look at dot Y, and font size, I guess 20 is nice, and color is black, and text, look at dot Y plus equals 40, 30, yeah, 30. 30 might actually be too big. No, 30 is fine. 30 is fine. 30 is fine. I think 30 is fine. 30 is fine. What is the initial Y? Initial Y is top margin. Top margin plus let's say 10 pixels just in case. And here also we'll say text look at dot Y equals top margin plus 10. That is nice. And let's see. Let's see. We do see some things, but shit, shit. Okay, we have to fix this. Shit. Let's remove the roundedness of the things. Roundedness is crazy. Draw rectangle lines X. Yeah. And what are the things this thing takes? Roundedness. Yeah, remove the roundedness. And also remove the segments, I guess. And don't make the rectangles rounded. Fix that. What are the things that this thing takes? X, Y, and okay, draw rectangle rec. Draw rectangle rec. Taking a rectangle. And here also EF0. Draw rectangle rec. Cool. Rectangles are not rounded anymore. That is good. And also yes, and current is not equals last. This should be something better. Okay, this is much better than before. And we can actually go more than 10. That is nice. And why are we going too much onto the right? That does not make sense. Top screen width 250 minus 3 into margin. Left text. That is left text. And draw rectangle X, Y location. Yes. Change this. So that is nice. And we can increase the maximum record to, let's say, I guess 25. Okay, 25 is a bit too much. 20 seems fine. Yeah, tap tap. Tap tap means a double tap. And that is cool. That is cool. Yeah, this is functional. So that's cool. We learned about how to like gesture and stuff in here. Shit. Large gesture, current gesture, but how are they drawing stuff? Clear background, ray white. Ray white is the background that they are using, and then draw a rectangle, rec, touch area, gray. Draw the rectangle, touch area, gray. Okay. And how did they initialize the touch area? Touch area equals. They have given custom things. Yep, literal numbers. Enable only some gestures to be detected. Set gesture enable equals to okay. Okay, what are the flags we have given? Those are the things. Okay. Draw text gesture area. And yes, they have given custom things. And fade. Draw text. Fade. Fade. This thing is fade. Width, height, 20, font, and fade. It gives a color. Okay. Let us also use fade. Gesture area. Fade. Takes the color. Color would be shit. What was the color? Gray and alpha 0.5. Let Yeah, that is cool. And that is kind of faded now. Top margin plus 10. Draw text x, whatever the x is of no y is for the rectangle plus 10 for the text, and here give this thing to the fade function, and alpha is 0.7. That is nice, but 10 seems to be a bit too much. Let's say 5. And that is nice. That is nice. That is nice. But why do we still have this white gap at the top? That is not very nice. Top margin plus 30. No, text local top margin. Top margin. This should be equal to top margin. Okay. You. That is cool. We can increase the count of the records 23 or maybe even 24. And 24 is higher. 23 is nice. And change the color of the text and make it gray. Looks nice. Let's see. Okay, gray is not very nice. Dark gray, how is dark gray? Dark gray seems better. Okay, that is nice. Shit, yes, we recreated this whole thing. That is cool. Okay, yeah, there is more defined, but yeah, we do get the point. That is, we can get gestures out of this Raylib library. That is nice. And Now let's move on to something that is interesting. This is something input gesture test bed. Okay, this line is where the mouse goes. Angle and swipe. Where did we swipe? Okay, tap to tap, pinch, touch. Okay, we do not have touch because it cannot touch. That is nice. Let's see. This thing, 2D camera or input virtual controls. You can have virtual controls like this. That is also nice. That is also nice. Yeah, cool. And we have 2D camera, which is nice. Nice. Actually nice. Screen can move like this. And yes, 2D camera, we can play with 2D camera, but there is shit. This is the main branch of our game of life code, and there my friend made a PR, and in this PR he has written code for this 2D movement, this thing, and that looks cool. Let's merge that PR to our own helper.cpp, and this is the code that he has written. Spawn x, spawn y. We'll have to see how it... Okay, so nothing is here. Here we have the basic stuff which we already had. And okay, what is the camera stuff that he has written? Get frame time, render. Okay, I guess he has made change in the render grid function. Render grid and clear background rectangle. Uh, should we erase the camera? Where is... The camera is not here. How can I search? Variables has some stuff. Okay, what is the last PR in this? Yeah, okay, this code is not updated. Okay. This is the thing, and update map, and this is the, yes, this one PR. Okay, crash game of life, game of life, and he's working on the development branch, which must have things. Yeah, this one is the one that has stuff. Camera.cpp. There is a whole new file for camera logic right there. And how is it integrated? Update camera. Okay, we must also have the same things in this 2D camera. Update camera and stuff. Camera 2D rotation. Okay. And okay, we don't have a update camera function. I guess that is custom then. And draw text and everything. Okay, let's see how this thing works. Shit. I can zoom in and out and move in the game, in-game left and right movement. That's cool. And even, yeah, tilting is also supported. That is cool. That is cool. And this is all handled by Raylib. So yeah, that is cool. Uh-huh. Now camera.cpp and paste and run. Yes, we have the same thing here locally. That is cool. Yeah, that's cool. Let's see how this is working. Remove the comments so that no one would know that we have copied and pasted. Yeah, program main entry point. Camera, rectangle, player. Okay. Rectangle buildings. We have a rectangle for the player, which I suppose is the square that we are dealing with, where the first and the second coordinates are the starting position of the rectangle, and these two are the sides of the rectangle. Then we have building. Maximum number of buildings is 100, and building colors. We have colors initially empty, all of them are equal to 0 and nothing. Okay, and then spacing is 0, spacing between the buildings, I suppose, right? And then for each building, we are giving them random values. Share, get random values between this and this. That is a function given to us by Raylib. That is cool. Ith building will get this much width, this much height, and this would be the location, and the location is y location from the top. How much should this thing go? So screen height minus 130 f 130 because you want the bottom base at 130, right? And minus building height. That is cool. And in x we do x minus 6000 plus spacing. So wouldn't the x for everything be equal to each other? Okay, so we are increasing the spacing. Spacing. Okay, we are increasing the spacing. That is good. And why this minus 6000? And we keep increasing the spacing by the width of the building, which is also variable. Okay, right. And then building colors. Right, we are giving it random color. Okay, that is nice. Random value in these ranges. That is good. We can actually make this like from 0 to 255. 255, and these two can also be 0. Let's see. And the colors are much more kind of crazy, vibrant colors. Yeah, colors are much more crazier now. So this logic is cool. Camera logic. That is cool. We get rotation and left and right movement. That is cool. That is cool. Okay. Okay, after assigning the buildings, we say camera 2D. Camera 2D is a variable which has offset, target, rotation, and zoom. If you have a 2D camera, then okay, this is defining the zoom, how much we have zoomed in, how much we have given the rotation, which is initially 0, and offset and target. What is offset? Displacement from the target, and target is a vector 2, and offset is how much off we are from the target. Rotation and zoom. Origin, this is the point where we have to zoom, and this is the point on which we have to rotate. Okay, that is nice. That is nice. Okay, and then we are setting the target and everything. So target initially for the camera, zoom is 1, I guess, which means 1. And then rotation is initially 0, which makes sense. And offset. Offset is something. Okay. and then vector 2, convert this thing into vector 2, which is player dot x plus 20, which makes sense. Player dot x is the left border of the square, and the square's sides are 40 in length. So to get to the middle of the square, we have to add 20, and we are doing the same thing for the y. So yeah, the center of the square is the target, and offset is screen width divided by 2, and screen height divided by 2 of set. I guess that is the basic uh, stuff for the camera. If we change this offset, what do we get? Okay, we uh okay, the camera is here. Shit, offset from this thing. Okay, yes, this is the top left of the camera. This is the top left of the camera. Where do we want this top left to move with respect to the target? Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Divided by, wait, no, if we don't, if we say 0, 0, then where is the basic offset? Shit. Okay, square is right there, which makes sense. Okay, so at the start, the offset, the top left point of the camera, and the middle of the target is same. So we have to screen width divided by 2.0f, and screen height divided by 2.0f, 2.0f. And now we are happy. That is good. That is good. Right. And then we update things, and then we draw things. Let's see how we are updating things. So we can add this to the game of life. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, pro, you here. And if key down right, we increase the player X by some amount, and left yeah, we go to the left. And camera dot target follows the camera. Yes, we update the target. Okay. Camera follows the target, the player. Camera target follows the player. Okay. And camera rotation. If A increase the rotation, S. If A decrease the rotation, S increase the rotation. Okay. Limit rotation. If rotation is greater than 40, then do not increase it. And if rotation is smaller than 40, then do not increase it. We will not limit the rotation, and this will just keep on rotating if you want to rotate. That is nice. That is good, I guess. Cut. Okay, and camera zoom. Get mouse wheel position, convert that number into a float, and multiply that by zero point 0.1 number to like only take a fraction, 10%, and then log F, camera zoom. What is log F? Takes in a float, and okay, this is just the definition dot h, log F. I guess exponential F. Use logarithmic scaling to provide consistent zoom speed. Okay, exponential F is float. So log, take log of the current value of zoom, and okay, then exponent, like, okay, we are taking its exponent with some value. we are not adding, or I guess what we could also do instead of doing this is, I think we'll still add log f. How are things now in terms? Oh shit. That's not very good. Zoom. Let's say we are just normally adding zoom. That is good. Okay, shit, this is happening because of this extension. And if we remove this, then we get like, okay, this jerky zoom. Okay, we are getting this jerky zoom, which you do not want. So we'll say camera dot zoom equals exponential into float what log float of the current camera dot zoom plus current camera dot zoom plus float of get mouse wheel move multiplied by 2.0 0.1 f. That should give us something better. That does not give us something better. That should have given us something better. Is this literally what we have? Okay, that's fine. And then camera zoom, if it is greater than 3, then do not increase the thing more than 3. And if we remove the limit, let's see, we will keep zooming out. Shit, that is cool. And we can keep zooming in, I guess. Should we? But we cannot move the target, so we will just keep keep zooming in into this target. Okay. Limit it back and R, if R, then this. Okay, let's change this and write this thing into a separate function here. Void random build does not take in anything, and all of this goes into this function, and this does not know what buildings are. We will tell it what buildings are. Buildings are buildings. Okay, so this needs buildings and colors. So char rectangle pointer called buildings and color pointer called build colors, and we also need screen height, which is an integer height, integer, and spacing. Yeah, and that is cool. That is cool. And instead of, yeah, here we will call that function random build function. First thing is the buildings. Second thing is the building colors, and then screen height, then spacing, and then we are happy. Cool. And here also, if someone presses R, and then instead of, yes, with zoom in this, also update the building positions on pressing R. Okay, let's say we want to change the zoom and the rotation. We'll just bring up random buildings. That is good. Yeah, that is cool. That is cool. Random buildings. Yeah, that is what anyone would want. And that is cool. That is cool. Random buildings just popping up. And cool. Now the actual drawing part. This is the whole drawing part. And this does not care actually. No, this does care. This does care about the camera. We are putting all the things which you want to zoom and stuff inside this 2D model. Begin 2D, and we are giving in the camera, and here we are ending, and everything that is static comes outside this camera. That is nice. And let's incorporate this whole thing with, yeah, with this game of life. Okay, shit. Mouse scrolling. Yo. But the thing is, dev. Okay, I need to have this code locally present, which is doable. Yeah, copy. Shit, I do not want to mess up my main code base for this. Emacs, build server, Emacs set. What the hell? Emacs build server, Emacs set. That game and shit. I messed up the main first question. My bad. We'll restart the question uh, in the home directory. zsf.zsf.rc. Huh. Source.zsf.rc. Okay. What is 8 into 21? 168. Yes, that must be correct. That is correct. And the second question is, what is 69 into 82? That would be 70 into 82, 5,600 plus 170, 5,700. 5,740 minus 80, 5,660 minus 2, 5,658. 5,658. Okay, shit. Let's see. Processing. We have to wait. Correct. That is cool. Okay. Let's. Okay, shit. I do not want to just pull into this thing. I have a copy of the main project. Yes, we'll pull the main thing here, and this is some Git stuff. So feature main. Why is there a branch with my name there? That is very narcissistic. Uh, Git switch main, and my branch is ahead of main by 2 commits. Which branch? Get status, and this says all of this. What slash my game? What is the state of the game here? The state of the game is here is amazing. That is pretty cool. Nice. Yep. Now look at this. There is this prediction system, and I want to add a toggle so that we don't predict when we don't want to. We only predict when we want to. And yeah, the rate of the prediction would be the same as the mean rate of the algorithm when we, yeah, cool. Okay, and yo, we can change the commit time also. Load shit. We can change the commit time. Shit, that is crazy. Yeah. Give it status. What did I do? Source and helper dot cpp. Yeah, this is all. From D to space. If key space is pressed instead of P, and this is in the handle inputs function, and also the above one is in the handle edit mode function. Okay, edit mode. Okay, for the edit mode, I don't want to. Helper.cpp, yes, here in the edit function update map. Update map is like kind of heavy. Update map is a bit heavy, I would say. Yeah, we will have to fix that later. Reset random is in get cursor edit mode. We have separate thread. Yes, we do. Yeah. This D is nice. We will take the D. But here handle input instead of shit, we do have space here, handle input. That is nice. And we do have D here. So there you are. What is the difference? Get diff, we removed space and we added D, and we removed P and we added space. Okay, that is perfect. Exactly what we want. Get diff source rendering dot cpp. What are the changes here? We changed, we removed this. Okay, we fixed up a few little things. That is fine. Wait, what are the current commands? Rendering.cpp. Currently, we say left and right. That is nice. Pause. Okay, we can update this a little bit. Left, right. Okay, controls. Yes, first things that we say is controls. And then we will say instead of this, let's copy this, and here we say in edit mode. In edit mode, left, right for stuff, and D to go to run mode. And yeah, clear grid and everything are these, all of these are common functions for all the things. So yeah, for both the modes. So that is nice. And D for run mode. Here you say run mode. These are the commands in the run mode. And yeah, I guess we can also change their X to make them seem like they are in the middle or something. X plus now dialog padding plus 30 is the norm, and for headings we subtract 30.0. So let's say, and here also minus 30.0 That is nice. And here also we have a heading minus 30.0 f. We don't actually have to do f, but yeah, that is nice. Edit mode, E to edit mode. And if we also need to say all of these other things are common. Common. Edit mode, commands, yeah, run mode, commands, right, and common commands minus 30. Cool, and probably we'll have to increase the height of this main dialog box by some amount. Yeah, we'll figure it out. How much? Make and shit. Which file am I working in? Yeah, Game of Life S, not my main thing. You also move to Game of Life S. Game of Life S. Yeah. And make dot slash my dot slash my game, run my game, and controls. This thing is not updated. This thing has not updated. And there is also no prediction system here. So let's go in. No shit. Draw help box is the only function that we have changed. So that is the only thing that we will copy. Game of Life, go to Game of Life and go to source and rendering, then update dialog box, help, draw help dialog box. Game of Life, make dot slash my game, run my game. Why don't we see any prediction? That is kind of crazy. I guess I disabled the prediction part. Yeah, I did it in my repo share bro changed the time. That is crazy. Shit, laptop is going to burst open. Game of Life. That is cool. And we have to increase the size of this dialog box. This is a bit too small. This is a bit too small dialog box. And this should go away in edit mode, I would say. Text Y, draw rectangle, rounded, border rectangle. Okay, border rectangle, X, Y, width, and height. You have to increase the height. Box width, box height, and box height, color border. Box is right there, and height is height. Box height is a variable. Uh, Dialog height. Dialog height, we can make this, I guess, 300. Let's see. Let's see. That is nice. Okay. We have to recompile and then make and dot slash my game. Okay, that is a little higher. So instead of 300, let's make this like 290. 290 is good. 290 is good. And start the game of life. Input random stuff. Let's increase the amount of random things that we are adding. With this number called random instead of 10,000. Let's make this like 10,000. Shit, 10,000 is quite a bit, I would say. Okay, most of the cells are dying. Yeah, shit. Every cell will die, except a few. Okay, that is nice. Cool. Controls, we have fixed up the controls. And. Yes, now we have to merge the code. Okay, no, before merging, I want to make sure that the controls are okay. In the main loop, handle control is the function handling everything. Let's see, we have the cursor portion and okay. In edit mode, the things that we are handling is keep press quit. If we press quit, then we quit. That is nice. And then reset random. Yeah, for reset and random, right? And then update prediction grid. Yes. And then is key pressed space. We do not want to press space here. Key D is the way to go. And handle run inputs. Space to toggle this yeah, the state of the game. And key up and down for the yeah, the rate of the game, for changing the rate. Space quit and E for edit mode. That is nice. And the dialog box has edit mode commands, left mouse D to run mode to go to run mode, and then we have the run mode commands. Right, that is cool. And padding plus 30. Let's say and uh, heading offset equal 50, and instead of 30, heading offset would be here. And yeah, whenever we are using like minus 30, we will replace it by the heading offset. Substitute minus 30 dot literal dot 0 f by heading, shit, I forgot the name of the thing. Heading, yeah, offset. That we don't have to change the minus sign, only the number. 30 substitute 3 0 a literal dot 0 f by heading offset. Let's see, is the current offset okay? for this. That is a bit too much because this is going outside the screen. Right. That is a bit too much. Uh, 45 and in this whole thing, whenever substitute this with space and this. Let's see. That is good. But shit, okay, a little bit more change. 40 would be nice. 05 divided by 40. Good. That is good. That is good. D to run mode. Update and reset edit mode. And let's make a fish. 3, 1, 2, 3. Remove this. On, on and start. D, not S. D. Okay. And when this hits the border, we have a glider. That is good. And we do not want the dialog box in the edit mode. Right? Yes, we do not want. We only want the dialog box in the edit mode. Yeah, we do need the dialog box in the edit mode. We can remove, yeah, we can add a feature so that the dialog box disappears if the user wants it to. Render grid. Prediction grid. Yes, there is prediction right there. And reset. Make a single line. That is nice. And we will see the prediction grid move forward from here. That is the prediction grid, like how this thing will come about later. And if we added one more cell, then what would have happened? This is what would have happened. And if we had added a few more cells, and this is what would have happened. That is cool. That is cool. That is game of life. That is game of life. And okay, so that is good enough. Can I commit? I think yes, I can commit. And yeah, I'll commit. And uh, updated dialog box shit. And I also did a few other things, updated dialog box and fixed the controls. That is also I want something that I want to add. So we have to change the message of the commit. So how to change commit message in Git. Okay. Commit amend for the most recent I for older commit. Okay, commit amend and then what? I guess we can use help git commit help, shit, git commit, and let's see. The thing we want to see is amend, amend, fix up, amend, should the, yes, amend. Replace the tip of the current branch by create the tip of the current branch by creating a new commit. The recorded tree is prepared as usual, including the effect of the I and O options and explicit parts. Okay. Git. It is a rough equivalent for git reset soft head. Go to this head. Yes. Remove the last commit and then commit again. Hmm. Okay, that is cool. Amend and I guess message updated dialog box and text inputting shit. Git no pager log one line graph in like 10 and updated dialog box added dialog differential analyzer. Yes, that is cool, that is cool. We updated commit message with git amend. That is cool, that's cool. And yeah, added support for VLAN. What is this? Prediction addiction working prediction testing shaders version 1 something version 1 and predictions working. So that is a friend of mine who is also working on this. Added dialog box and some other UI and some merges from me. Added user interactivity. Okay, this is cool. Yep. And so this is good. I can push this onto my main, but not really. Yes, now I want to incorporate the camera code, which has been written by my friend. Yes, for this, let's go to the back and lsrmrf game of life s. We have to be careful. Yes, and now copy recursively game of life to game of life test pd game of life test and status everything is empty. And what we will do is get remote add friend my friend's branch, which is this is dev branch, copy code this. Okay, get removed. We have origin and we have friend. That is nice. And get, I guess. Okay, how do I see rename, move, set head, get URL, get removed, get URL with a hyphen, get remote, get URL, push pull or name. Okay, shit makes sense. Get URL for origin, which is my fork. That is nice. And yeah, get pull friend dev. That does not work. Get branch, get no pager branch all. And yes, we don't have the dev branch. It is in remote. Shit, I guess git switch remote friend dev. Okay, so what is this? What is this branch? Where am I? Rebasing main. Why? Shit. And I did this in. Okay, we are in the test folder. So yeah, we are in the test folder. That is nice. We are in the test folder. That is nice. Okay. There are some conflicts that you have to fix. Yes, let's fix them. Git rebase continue. Okay, resolve all conflicts manually. Mark them as this and this. Okay, how do I see where the conflicts are? There was some conflict and helper, merge conflict in helper and main function in variables.hpp, and okay, prediction addiction. There were a lot of conflicts. Could not apply prediction addiction. Okay, git no page. Okay, how do I see the current conflicts? Rebase, skip, abort. We can do abort, we can continue. Okay, git, we have to make a commit for them. Okay, okay, okay. Git rebase. Okay, how to see current merge conflicts. Git status makes sense. Git status unmerged paths. In helper, we have something. My game.dir compiler dependent dot internal. N source helper dot c plus plus. What is the conflict? The conflict starts here. The head is here. The head has all of this code, but this is the code in the other branch. Prediction addiction has all of this code. We will go with prediction addiction instead of whatever the head has. Wait, what is the head? Prediction addiction. Okay, that must do something. Okay, was there any other? Yeah, and there is also this thing. Uh, yeah, shared. Yes, head. My code. Render grid. Render grid. There is clear background function. We go to uh, my friend's branch and see what the actual thing is. Bro, are you in ICPC Asia regional content? Nope. Nope. Good. And here. Mm, yeah, I'm trying to change my mentality. Like till now, I I have been like moving forward and learning new things with the same mentality that I would take on some physical challenge. That is, I like for physical challenges, I just say that I have to do this much stuff every day. But we cannot do that with learning and getting better and with like the mental stuff. I can say I will run 10 kilometers every day and that checks out because I do not have to think much. I just have to run or maybe push-ups or pull-ups or something like that. But with learning, saying that today I will learn about the greedy algorithm, that does not happen that way. It is like, okay, today I will start learning about the greedy algorithm and we will see how it goes. Something like that. It is unrated 5 hour. Shit. It is like online. I mean, unrated and unrated is not a very big concern, but shit. This is online and this is ICPC. Shit, that this would be a good experience. When is this? ISPC right there on 16th of November. This is good. This is good. Yes, I will give this. unrated, preferably teams. That is nice. Okay, we can give this as an individual or as a team. Shit, we can give this as a team if you want to. If you want to, we can give this as a team. That would be pretty cool. Shit. And we will be under the ICPC, whatever the terms are for ICPC. We can come on Discord and we can give the contest as a team if you are up for it. And shit, I don't know if you are in the Discord or not. And shit, if you are on Discord, we can connect and we can decide everything. You can just ping me. I don't know what your username is. Shit. I can register. My bad. Okay, unregister. Yeah, if you want to, we will give this as a team. That would be nice. And why does this Radiohead spark? Okay, shit, that is his or Mikasa's team. Clue. Shit, most of the people are giving this like individually, and some have teams. These are the teams. That is nice. That is nice. Team would be a nice experience. I haven't done apart from this project anything else in with team. And look at this contributors, Mr. Darsh Parikh, this guy, and me, and my other friend. And this thing right here, this is the source of truth. And this is the helper dot v. The new helper function does not have these functions, render grid or anything. So, shit. Uh, why do we see render grid here? The new helper function does not have these. CD, game of life, test, CD, source, ls, and we do have camera here. We do also have, we do not have rendering. Why do we not have the rendering file? Ah, where did the rendering file go? Okay, we will go back. We will go back, quit, do not save, and get um anyways abort. Okay, we are on the main branch. Ls source, and we do have the rendering function. So where did the function go when we were here? We still should have had the rendering function. Shit. Git branch all origin is at main, origin head is at origin main. Okay, dev friend. I want to merge with dev friend. Okay, so git. I do not want to rebase my main branch. That would be crazy. Switch remote friend dev invalid reference. Okay, git no pager branch with double hyphen all remotes. Git switch remotes friend dev, and okay, branch is expected, but got remote branch. Okay, git fetch, git fetch help, download objects and references, git fetch option, repository, multiple, all. Then options, repository. I guess the remote one, all fetches, all remotes except for the ones that have the remote name skip fetch all configuration set. Okay, git git fetch all shit. Okay, we do have the friend now. Git git switch uh remotes friend dev. Try with the detachment. If you want to detach head add the commit. Try again. Fatal remote branch. How do I pull? How do I pull this? Locally fetch from integrated another repository options and then a repository and reference git pull friend dev head head abort. Head is ambiguous. Warning. Ref name head is ambiguous. Uh, git switch create dev. Why is head name ambiguous? And this is a good thing that everything is happening in the test branch and not in the main branch. Not sure if I will be available the time or not. Also, it is still 12 o'clock. Shit, can you 10 shit 12 in the night? That is crazy. You want to merge your branch with your friends. I want to get my friend's branch locally available and then switch onto my friend's branch and then rebase my friend's branch onto my main branch. Or maybe should I can rebase my main branch on top of my friend's branch. Is that is also one thing that I could do. Oh, yes. What I want is there was like a common thing and my branch went somewhere, my friend's branch went somewhere. So what I want now is we can do merge in which yes, here I made a bunch of commits along the way, right? My current commit is this one. My friend made a bunch of commits along the way and his commits are here. What we can one option is to merge, and that would be create a new branch, a new commit which will have both the codes. That is one option. And the other more genius option I would say, or more better option I would say, is I can take the base of my friend's commit and we'll look at this visually and put this at top here, right? Should Control Z, remove all of this circling stuff. And by the way, the circle which was drawn right here, this was brachistochrome circle. So yeah, the other option is git rebase, in which I would rebase and yeah, we will have a linear history and our current branch would become this one. And I can make my head move. I can make my head move to this branch, to this commit, and that is nice, right? That is nice. My head would be here. And we have a clean linear history. That is rebase. But uh, problem is like this is on a remote thing and this is locally available and this is a separate branch other than the main branch, so we will have to like rebase this on top of the main branch. That makes more sense instead of rebasing this one on top of the remote branch. But sit, what is the least common ancestor that we have? Yes, what is the least common ancestor that we have? Let's see. Let's see. Me locally, Git, mm, no, pager, log, graph, one line. Let's see the last 20 commits. Right. Friend main, what do I have? Friend main, and my main is right here. Prediction working, everything. Prediction. Okay, yes, yes. I do have the prediction system right now working. That is nice. With my friend's branch shared friend main. Okay, that is nice. Where is friend dev? I cannot see friend dev. I guess if I do all, can I see friend dev? Yes, let's go. This is the commit from which friend dev diverges and mine also diverges and shit. Okay, so this friend commit is like, okay, shit, okay. This diverges from like V of this diverges at this point, and after this, another friend made a pull request, successful pull request, and I wrote my code on top of the latest code. Shit, okay, shit. So what we have to do is take up these three commits and we have to put them on top of my latest commit. Hmm. Testament to retardness. Indeed. Yes. So when I am in my current, and the thing that I don't get is even when doing git switch to remote friend dev. What is this? If you want to detach head at any commit, where is the head? Git print is a function, I guess. List ls tree head. That makes sense. Where is head? Where is head? Where is head? Git no picture log 20. Okay. The head is at the head at the main branch. That is nice. But there are two heads. There is origin head and there is friend's head. There is also friend dev. Okay, this is head, but friend head is also head. Vivo. Okay, shit. I'll go to the washroom and I'll be right back in 1 minute. Guess what? I miss. Okay, I guess the problem is this. We have two heads, like literal heads. These other heads, this is origin head and this is friend head. And that is, yeah, all of that checks out. But these two heads are two literal heads, the main heads. Yeah, I'll be right back in 1 minute. I have to go to washroom. I'm back. We have to like kind of restart this because we have another this head problem. I don't know why do we have two heads. We should only have one head. We can actually look and head. Head refers to heads main, which should be in this heads main. Main is referring to this thing which has like 35 at the end, and head makes sense. Why do we have two heads? Here, this head, like the literal head, is at 37, but the main head is pointing at some place else. Let's say copy this, paste. Yes, yes. Now what do we have? That head is still here. Shit, that other one is gone. The main head is okay. Shit, we messed up. We messed up. We messed up. We messed up. Heads. There is no undo. There is no undo. It was 35, 35. Which commit has 35 as the last hash? We want this one to be the head. We want this one to be the head. Git no pager log the last two commits. Let's say, yeah, head. Head pointing to the main. But we don't see the head here. Why is the head this thing? The current head is here at friend. Why are we here? cd ls source. Rendering is here. This commit right here does not have rendering. We are in the main branch, and this is main is right here, but main is not here. Some crazy things are happening. Okay. RMRF, remove everything. Yes. Yes, and copy recursively game of life to game of life test. cd game of life test and git remote add friend https colon slash slash github.com slash k and game of life git fetch all. We are fetching everything. We have the friend and everything. Okay, and now git no page log and all and everything. Now our head is where it should be. Our head is in the right place. Git. Let's go on to our friend. Git switch remote friend dev. Okay, what will detach do? Whatever. Git detach, and we are at this random commit cb, which is the right commit. Okay, yes, we are at the correct commit. We have to rebase this onto our main commit. Okay, git branch or git no pager branch. All these are all the branches. right? And head is at some random, right? And get rebase main. That is good. Git status. We have unmerged path changes to commit. In source, we have a file named game somehow. We have a file named game. Interactive rebase in progress onto 3D. What is a 3D branch? 3D and then correct. That is the correct branch onto which we want to rebase to. On to 3D. Yes. Last commit done is testament to retardness. Next commit to do is two remaining commands. Okay. And there is no conflict on this one. You are currently rebasing. Fix conflicts. Continue. Get rebase. Continue. Let's do that. And changes to commit. Okay. We have to. There is there and unmerged path. Modified this and main.cpp. Head has this, and there we have enums for the game state. Yeah, we will head. This is what we have right now, and this is what we will keep. So remove this. Remove this. And what are some things we can take up from this? Game state idle is clicked and everything like that, and is drawing and all that. Okay, that handle logic is handled somewhere else. Update dialog box, render grid. Yeah, we can just remove all of this. And does this check out? This does check out. Get a status, and we have a new file, source game, which is a binary file, and dot get ignore source slash game, ignore the game, get a status, get add everything here, unmerged paths, get status, get add. Why do we still see game here when we have added that in get ignore and dot ignore src slash game? So uh, get testament to retardness was the name of the original thing. Yeah, last command done, one command done, next command. So this is next, and currently we are at this one. Okay, cool. Cool. Get status, get rebase, continue, get status. Okay, last we did this. I guess now we are doing this, and that would the last one would be the next last. Camera.cpp, that is a new file. Deleted game, okay, and unmerged paths. Okay, there are merge conflicts in these. Helper.cpp, there are merged conflicts in helper.cpp. Head. Okay, all of that. Yeah, this does not have the rendering logic. That is good. Yeah. And head has all of this. If user defined, then update dialog box, and head does not have anything. But this other commit has all of this. Yeah, because yeah, update dialog box and everything else. In edit mode equals true and all that. Yeah, we can just remove that. Is there some error? variables.hpp version control conflict, and there were, I guess, some problem in variables.hpp also. Yes, 29. Okay, dialog box height and width. All okay. We will go with the ones in the head. Get a status and help. We fixed variables and helper. Let's fix main src. This is actually kind of fun. This is like removing code and adding new code. This is fun. Okay, in the head, this is our whole main function. But here, okay, we have a camera logic. We'll copy the camera logic at top. Camera is also sent to take grid position. Edit mode needs camera. Okay, who will have the camera? Whoever is rendering anything. Render grid camera. Okay, this we will move camera dot cpp 2D camera. Okay, we'll move this up here. And then okay, that is nice. Okay, we will give this to the edit function, and then update camera is also a function. When are we doing update camera? Update camera is happening inside the loop. And what does this update camera function does? This update camera function, this is happening inside the loop. Update camera, screen width and screen height are required. Update camera gets mouse wheel. Okay, this is taking input, and this is a common thing which will happen in both the and yeah, this is common in both the edit mode and the normal mode. Update camera. So camera will be sent to the rendering grid function, right, and screen width and screen height is required. And where are these two things used? uh Minimum zoom, min zoom. What is min zoom is another function which requires these two things. Okay, we won't change much here. We need to call the update camera function with the screen width and the screen height. But the screen width and the screen height are constants. Screen width and the screen height are constants. I think we can move these constants into delete into variables, and like one of the variables. Okay, screen width and screen height. So at least we can remove all of update camera. Yes, update camera function now does not need these things any longer. And if we go to the update camera function, we can say that minimum zoom also does not take in these things. Screen width and screen height should be available from variables.hpp. And is there any conflict here? No, there is no conflict here. Screen width and screen height is the only error. Initial camera, screen width and okay, why do we still have some errors? Did you mean camera expected? Cool. And this function is also taking looks good. Fix camera. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No matching function called to fix camera, which does make sense. Okay, this file is fixed. This file is fixed. Main, and yes, main, we have to call the update camera function again and again, and also begin 2D model and end 2D model. What are the things that we need? Okay, update camera function is something that we have to call. And yeah, everything else we can just remove. Rate 0, time equals rate is 5, that is quite a bit of rate. Initial camera, remove these, and yeah, edit mode will also take camera, and render grid will also take camera. Begin 2D model and all of that. Okay, edit mode will take camera called camera, which it will give forward to prediction grid as the third argument. Right, and whenever this is calling the edit mode, this will also give the camera. For that, camera is required here, a reference to the camera, just in case. Yes, a reference is required, and yes, this will also take a reference. And render grid function, update camera, we have called update camera every time inside here. This is from Raylib, but we have because we are not importing the camera function, camera.cpp in helper, I guess, or we are not. Edit mode here, update camera, this is from Raylib. Shit, nothing is from our own library. This one, camera.cpp, update underscore camera. Okay, And what does it take? It takes just the camera. Okay. Helper. No method function call. How? It takes in a 2D camera, which makes sense, which makes sense, which makes sense. Camera 2D, we have to change camera 2D, and this one also takes a camera. We change this also. Camera 2D update camera works, and the only error we have is in the render prediction grid function, which right now does not take any camera or stuff like that. Camera 2D, we will call that a camera, and render prediction grid यहाँ पे here begin mode 2D camera, and what do we render? Yeah, we render the whole thing, and then yeah, end mode 2D. That's nice. That is working at least. Okay, and we also have to um, no one is using the function. Change the definition and shift it. It would be much better if this thing was a reference, and this also takes a camera 2D reference called camera after begin drawing, uh, begin mode 2D with the camera that you got, and then here and mode 2D. Okay, we still have one error somewhere in this file. Right here, what is this? Huh? If not defined render. Unterminated condition. Okay, okay. This checks out. Everything is fine here. And shit, we are doing this in the test folder. If this works out, yeah, we can just copy paste this to our main folder. Yeah. Let's see if this runs. Source. Okay, okay. We cannot do any camera. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, we cannot do any camera things just yet. Huh. Why would that be? Why can I not do any camera things? Why can we? Why is the camera not changing? Okay, why did this even work? Redefinition of camera zoom speed. Who is redefining camera zoom speed? Whoever it is, we will fix it. We will fix them. Render this takes in grid running rate, and okay, why was this even working? This also takes in the camera and render grid, and shit, this is like outside. This does not concern us. Camera zoom speed. Zoom is not here. Okay, zoom is not here. Run the game, compiles, and but camera does not work. Camera does not work. Shit, I misclicked. Why does the camera not work? Why doesn't it work? Why won't they talk to me? Mhm. Camera.cpp. In the rendering, draw dialog box and everything, update dialog box, and we don't care about that. Begin 2D model, camera. Yes. Main.cpp, and what did we have originally here? Clear background, begin 2D model, render, end 2D model, and update dialog box happens after. Render grid is the only thing. Let's say here, uh, end 2D, and this is render grid. Begin 2D model. Yep. And we would have end 2D model with the camera right here. Right, and 2D model with the camera right here, and are we updating these things? That will be in the helper function. Edit inside the edit function. We are calling the update camera function. That is good. That is all that is required there, and but here we are not calling the update camera function. Redefinition of camera zoom speed. Where is it redefined? Zoom is not even there. Camera 2D model. Okay, camera zoom speed is here, and right, camera zoom speed is being used there. That is the only thing. Yeah. Me camera. Okay, zooming does not work. Yeah, zooming does not work. Zooming does not work. Update camera. Take wheel. Get mouse wheel. Wheel is not equal to 0. Then wheel camera zoom increase camera zoom. Lamp is some function of C++. Yes. we also have to make sure that, wait, what is this init camera function? Okay. Whoever is calling camera, they are getting a reference. Yeah, a severance. Okay, all of these here at least are getting a reference. This is a reference, this is a reference. That is nice. And in the main function, I don't suppose anyone is getting anything from anywhere. Nope. Cam init camera. Okay, that is and added zooming and panning. If this had a little bit more context, it would be easy to know whether what is happening with this. Like after this commit, was everything working smoothly? Because it is not working smoothly right now. Okay, let's make this commit. Modified all of these files. Changes not staged for commit. In the rendering function, web source render. Okay, they are taking a reference to the original camera. Begin to model camera. Nice. They are calling the begin to the model, end to the model. Hmm. 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 Let's add a debug statement here. Out camera dot target. Uh, target dot x and space camera dot target dot y and nothing. And this is in the render grid function. Okay, D is for run mode. Okay, we don't see anything here. We should be seeing things here, but we don't. We should be seeing like we don't see that. Nope, I don't see. No, we don't see the camera positions. So this build target my game. Where is this? ls build slash not in build bin slash debug slash debug. Okay, there is nothing there. Ls bin only has debug. Okay, where did this my game file go? Linking executable my game. If I rm my game ls, my game is gone. If I do make now, then what do we have? We have my game here. Building files have been written to this game of life, and which branch has been used for all of this. Let's commit. Let's just make the commit. Git status, the one I think that we are currently at is view or something. Next commit and git add this and git commit we'll make the same thing and git dbase continue, and we have merge conflicts. Git status, we have a merge conflict in main. Source slash. Okay, head does not have anything here, but this other commit has all of this, which we can just remove at least. Okay, let's see. Uh, okay, we can remove all of this because this is being handled in the main function also. Update camera is also being handled, and everything else is also being handled. Take grid position. Yes, everything is completely being handled outside. Start screen dot cpp is something. Shit. Start start screen. Show start screen. That is the only new thing here. Init camera and everything else is same. Game state. Cool, cool. Show start screen. We will add it here. Init window, and then the first thing we have to do is show start screen. Then 24. Go below. Yeah. Make dot slash my game, and do we see the start screen? We do not see the start screen. I don't know what is happening. Git final merged view, and okay, game of life test successfully rebased. Sprint dev view is here, finally merged view here, head, and git switch main, and we are at main. Warning, you are leaving 3 commits behind. Git no pager. Main is here. Updated dialog box and added fixing and that and merged. Where is the view and all of that? One view is Huh. Where are the commits? Shit. Okay. Shit. When I'm doing like uh, git switch to this dev branch, why are we unable to go to this branch? Get it. And we rebased this whole thing on top of this whole thing. Okay, what we can do, um, generally speaking, git switch C feature. We are on feature. Git pull chat GPT first of all. Yeah. I have a remote branch. I want to pull it by force and find the current local branch. If you want, yeah, git fetch origin, git reset hard origin branch name, git reset hard friend and space, not slash dev. Head is now at vivo ls, and if I do make dot slash my game, okay, no, this does not even have shaders. This does not even have shaders. Okay, I messed up the main thing. Hmm. Where is make getting these files from? This is not making sense. Okay, I am a retard. Build files have not been written to the current folder. They have been written to Game of Life. So if I do Game of Life slash my game, I see the bad thing. And how is this thing working? Make dot slash my game. This should be working correctly. Okay, this is fine. This is working correctly with shaders and everything. If I press D, yeah, the game goes into the continue mode. That is nice. Okay, this git thing. This is making a mess. Uh, Game of life. Dot slash game of life. Test. Okay, cool. And somehow nothing is working. And its source. What do you have? We do have camera and a start screen, but we do not see the camera and the start screen. Step. Build remake dot slash remake 5 dot osx gmake, go back, run cmake here, does not matter, run make, then update cam. Use of undeclared identifier, update camera in file helper. Who is doing that in file helper? Okay, because we do not have the camera function here. Makes sense. update camera has to be imported. Update camera is in camera.cpp. So in helper we will import that thing, include okay, and if we do make now, redefinition of update camera, which does make sense, because helper is updating camera and the main function is also importing the camera library, so they are like being defined twice. So if not define camera, then define camera, and at the end, and if that should fix all our worries, or maybe not. Linker command failed. Duplicated symbols. But which symbols? Helper, and wait. Put this here and helper main. No error in sight. At least the LSP is unable to catch any error. Yeah. Start screen is only imported. Yeah. We are checking for the start screen also. Yeah. Let's see. That should work. That should just functionate next in edit mode. In edit mode. Uh, Some update in new him. Shit. Tree sitter broke. Fetch failed for tree sitter. Shit. What do you stop the iterations? How do you stop the iterations? Ah, okay. For that part, that is kind of cool. Okay. Here, if I go to my like the thing that is working, the good working one here. So this is the edit mode. Right now we are in edit mode, and in edit mode we can do all of these things. And to go into the run mode, we have to press D. Now we are in the run mode, and the rate is something. And to increase the rate, we can press up or down. And right now I have pressed down, so rate is 0, and nothing is updated. And we are making sure, even though the FPS is 60 FPS, FPS is 60, game is only updated when according to the rate, and that thing is handled here. Rate initially is 1, that means 1 update per second, and we will update rate whenever someone presses up or down arrow key. And initially we have this variable, time variable, and we are adding get data frame time. This function returns us how much time has passed since the last frame and the current frame, right? Like if this is 1 second, if this is 1 second, And let's say we are running this thing at if rate is 1, right? And our FPS, let's say, equals 4. So let's say we will have one iteration, one not iteration, but one rendering of the frame at the start. Then after 250 milliseconds or 25 milliseconds, how many seconds are in milliseconds? 1000. Yes, 1000. So 250 milliseconds, we will have one more frame. 250 milli. How many seconds in a second? 1000? Yes, because milli. After 250 milliseconds, we have another frame, and after another 250 milliseconds, we have another frame, and after 250 milliseconds, we have another frame. And we have a time variable which is initially equal to 0. So yeah, at the end of this frame, our time variable would increase, and we are calling the get delta time function, this one, get frame time function, which gives us this time, like how much time has passed since the last frame was iterated. So this thing would become 250, time would become 250. So at the end of this frame, we are seeing that the time is 250. Then when we get at this frame, we would again add this much time which has passed since the last frame, which was this. So this would become 250 plus 250. This would time would become 500. So here time would be equal to 500. And after updating time for every part, we are checking if time into rate is greater than or equal to 1. And also if the simulation is supposed to be running and is not paused. If that is the thing, then we update our grid and our time. Then we update our grid and reset time to be equal to 0. So if rate is equal to 1, then right now time is point not 500 point 0 500, and at this frame it would be 0.750, and at this fourth frame, which is from here 1 2 3 4, which is like yeah, which is this whole thing would is 1 second duration. At the end of 1 second, here our frame would be rendered, our grid would be updated, iterated. We'll call this function and time would become equal to 0. But if rate was equal to 2, then we would have updated our grid at this mid time point here at this location when time was equal to around 0.5. So yeah, that's how we do this. And this is kind of cool. Even though the FPS is stable, we can change the rate of iteration. So that's cool. And I guess that would be it for today, because for incorporating the camera function, I would have to get on call with my friend, because I don't get what is happening with the Git. Maybe I want to do this by the proper method, but things are quite messed up. Like Git, uh, no pager, log all. Look at this. We have to merge this branch, which is head, with this branch, which is main, and this diverges off from here, and this one was a merge commit between this branch, which was a diversion from the main branch here, and this one, which is like, yeah, this is a linear history for this one, main. Yeah, yeah. So that would be today. Yo. And this thing, well, right now, dot slash my game, this is how it looks. And the thing that I'm most proud of is this, just this, that like a few days ago, there was the problem that when I was moving the mouse too much, too quickly, then cells in the middle were missing. They were not lighting up, but now they are lighting up because of the digital differential analyzer algorithm. And this thing, red and green, this is prediction. Like if you do go forward with this, the red and green cells at the background, they are telling you what would happen if you do go forward with this thing that you selected. And pressing D, you do go forward with this. So that is kind of nice. We can increase the rate. That is cool. Yep. And there are modes: edit mode, run mode, and common commands are here. There we have a glider which is moving forward. That is cool. Okay, share. That was a heart there. Yeah, that is cool. This is what we have. And that would be the end of today's stream. Yep, 3 hours and 30 minutes. That would be the end of today's stream. And thank you for being here. Bye. And if there is something you want to type in the chat, now would be the time. Yes. Let's see. Okay, cool. Shit, I hope the latency is not too much. Yeah. So that would be the end of today's stream. And thank you for being here. Bye.